Hello and welcome to Pool Boys Recommend, a comedy podcast where three tummy bug boys, one of us has a tummy bug, see if you can tell who. Three tummy bug boys recommend things to each other, do them, and then review them. My name is Stuart.
I'm Chris. Oh man, that whole intro, Dave with the biggest scowl on his face. It's like he does have the tummy bug.
Sorry, Dave. Dave's really pulled out all the stops today. We're here, we're recording, and he probably shouldn't be. He should be in bed. So thanks, Dave.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't be, but there you go.
We are
pulled out all the stops.
We are your certified pool boys, and we're back with a new batch of recommendations. But first, it is time to rate and review last episode's recommendations. And this week, we're actually going to start with me. Tamagotchi me.
Wow.
That's right. Last week, Stuart, I recommended that you have a play with a Tamagotchi.
You did.
A relic. I found one from the 90s. I dug it up like Indiana Jones.
Where did you find it, Chris?
They're selling them at Target. $30.
Oh, for real?
Are they actually at Target?
Dude, how have I not gotten one?
We can all get one, yeah?
Easy. Yeah, we can.
That's so good. I really want one of those budget toys.
They're
I want to pay a lot of money for some really quite rudimentary electronics.
It really is. As a matter of fact, it doesn't fully work all the time.
Really?
But that is okay. Yeah, it's been a really great experience. I'm sort of gonna pull the lid off this one, boys, and just start off with like the absolute truth. I know it's a comedy podcast, but I'm gonna be really honest and say, like, at the end of like last week and beginning of this week, just before getting the Tamagotchi, I was there's no pretty way of saying it. I was pretty depressed. I was pretty low. It was a bit of a slump for me in my life.
Dang.
I was burning the candles at both ends, and there was no real like structure around my life. But
got to normalize these conversations, bud.
But yeah, that's true. But so I was lacking structure in my life. But boy, howdy, did this Tamagotchi bring structure back into my life. So I remember having a Tamagotchi when I was a kid, right? I say that liberally. My sister had a Tamagotchi, and when she got sick of it, I just picked it up. But I remember not being very good at this very simple game. You know, like poos piling up everywhere, finding it dead, you know, over-disciplining it.
I know how that feels.
Deceptively hard. Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Wish someone had just wiped them away.
Yeah, if only it was possible for you to just click that rubber ducky button and just wipe it all away.
Oh.
But,
sorry for that very crass joke. Carry on.
That's all right. We're not above it, let's be honest. So I remember not being very good at using a Tamagotchi when I was a kid. Like, it was fun, but I was terrible at it. And I just neglected it, and it died over and over again.
Yeah.
But my relationship...
I would argue, because you were a child.
Yes, I mean, that obviously. But that's kind of my point. My relationship with my Tamagotchi this week showed me just how far I've come as a human. Like, I'm very capable. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm a little too capable of taking care of this Tamagotchi. It requires less attention than I give it.
It's gotten too strong.
Yeah.
We've got to stop it.
Straight up, actually.
It's rampaging the town.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of a story with my first one. Anyway, I'll get there. I will tell you. But I just want to kind of give you a bit of a background on the Tamagotchi. So, first released in 1996. So I pretty much assume that anyone who's listening to this in their 20s and up knows what it is. But for all the babies out there, for your babies, the Tamagotchi was like the...
babies.
We're a hit podcast.
Hey,
babies. Cut the babies. Get the Tamagotchis, the babies. Welcome to Tamagotchi Cast. It's Stuart. Gonna talk all you babies. Today I went and I cleaned up a poo. How about you guys? Did you do it?
Dave.
The babies, what did you do today? How many did you feed? Did you feed it?
Dave's hallucinating again. Another symptom of
Dave. Yeah, I thought the diarrhea was supposed to be coming out of your ass.
That was what it sounds like.
Anyway, sorry. All right. So,
oh, mate.
Oh, good, was it?
A good joke.
So it was...
Sorry, I wish I had the energy to laugh.
It's okay, man. The Tamagotchi was the original virtual pet. And this is a Gen 1 Tamagotchi. Thank you, Chris. The OG Tamagotchi.
Wow. Gen 1.
And there are 8 basic functions of the Tamagotchi. The 8 basic functions of the Tamagotchi Pro. Feel like I'm at an Apple conference. The new Tamagotchi
Pro.
Just the Tamagotchi Gen 1. So you've got 8 little functions. You've got food, which is like a meal and a snack. Also on this, snacks do nothing. They do, just like in real life, snacks, which is on the screen, it's like the shape of a little lolly. They do not help at all. It's a useless function on the Tamagotchi.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't do anything. No matter how many snacks you feed it, it doesn't get any less hungry.
Wow.
I'm noticing a kind of a pattern here already.
And then your second function is the light. You turn the light off when it goes to sleep, and that's basically all you do with that. You can play with it, and the game that this one plays with you is basically it just turns a direction, right or left, and you have to guess which direction it's going to turn. And you have to. Playing with the Tamagotchi is the only way to make it happy.
There's so many choices, though.
Yeah, but it's random. There's no logic to it, really. Sometimes I think there's a pattern, but then it proves me wrong. And that's the only way you can keep this thing happy. And you need to win the game. So you need to actually you have 5 chances to pick which way it's going to turn. And if you get 3 out of 5 correct, it gets a little bit happier. If you get less than 3 out of 5, it doesn't get any happier. It just stays the same.
Far out.
Wow. There is medicine.
It's exhausting just listening about it.
There's medicine for when it gets sick, so you just administer some medicine and then it gets better. You've got a bath to wash away the stinky little poos. You've got the health meter, which is where you go in to sort of check how happy and hungry and how disciplined it is. And then you've got actual discipline, which is a function where you can yell at the Tamagotchi for being naughty.
Oh my God.
And then there's the last function is attention, and that's just like a thing that flashes when it needs attention. And the disciplining comes in when it cries for attention but doesn't need it. So if it's asking to play a game, or if it's like help, give me attention, but its health meter is full and it's completely happy, then you've got to discipline it, because you've got to be like, no, you don't need attention right now. You're doing fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so many more functions to a Tamagotchi than I remember.
Same.
Because I only remember 2, which was there's a bunch of poo on the screen and your Tamagotchi is dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I remembered from it as well. I have distinct memories of my sister's pink Tamagotchi and just it covered in poos and dead, like that big skull and crossbones on the screen.
Really quickly, Stu.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that sometimes it'll cry out for attention.
Yeah.
What is that? Does it buzz, or does it make actual noises, or?
I've actually got it in my top pocket. I'm sort of hoping it'll cry for attention during the show. So you might be able to hear it, but it's basically like a piercing beep. It's like before even those old ringtones, polyphonic ringtones and those kind of things. Yeah. It's like pre that. So it's just like a piercing electronic beep.
Monophonic.
Yeah. It's quite annoying, but I've gotten used to it.
All hours of the night?
No, because once if you set the timer right, it basically goes to bed at about 9 o'clock every night and wakes up at about 9 o'clock every day. So for 12 hours, you're kind of you're safe. Yeah.
Okay.
When do you get to set the timer? Because
as soon as you reset it. When you reset it, you set the timer.
Oh, yeah. So if your thing dies, you're best off waiting until the next day and then resetting it.
Actually, yes. If it dies, you are better off setting it for the next day, unless you've got a few hours spare, because. And I was going to get to this later, but I'll just mention it now. When you hatch a new Tamagotchi, as soon as it's hatched, the first 3 hours is hell. It's just always hungry. It's always hungry. It's like a newborn baby, right? So it's always hungry. It's always unhappy. It's always crying for attention. It's shitting itself all over the place. So when your Tamagotchi hatches, make sure you're not walking into a fucking business meeting or an interview or something, because it's gonna beep at you.
My important business meeting. Sorry, guys, I really have to take this.
Yeah. So the last thing that I'll mention about the functions of the Tamagotchi is, and this is something that I never knew and never actually experienced because I was so terrible in the past at taking care of Tamagotchis. But if you take really good care of it, at some point, and you never know when, but at some point, your Tamagotchi will just decide to fly home. and then it's done.
Oh.
Your Tamagotchi's done. It goes home. So on the packet, it's not. This is not a really well known fact.
What do you mean it goes home? Well, you raised it.
Yeah, I know, but this is not a really well known fact. But in like,
do you mean like goes home to the farm?
No, no.
Stu.
It goes. Oh, no.
Did you flush your Tamagotchi down the toilet? Got a new Tamagotchi that looked just like it to try and trick Chris and I.
No.
Wait, this one says made in China.
It's something that I never really knew about the Tamagotchi, but it says in the little booklet that you get with it, it's like your Tamagotchi is a visitor from an alien planet, and it's come here to learn what life is like on planet Earth. That's the whole premise of the virtual pet Tamagotchi. Oh. It's an alien.
Yeah, right.
Tamagotchis are an alien.
Yeah,
I didn't know that actually.
And my God, I had no idea.
I decided to take extremely good care of the Tamagotchi as soon as it hatched. I decided to take really good care of it, and I was like, I hardly let it beep. Like after the first few hours of like it being a newborn baby, I was checking it more often than I had to, and then I was like, oh, it's a little bit hungry. I'll give it some food. Oh, it hasn't got full heart meters on its happiness. I'll play with it. And so I was taking really good care of it, and then. It got to 3 years old, which translates to 3 days in our time. It got to 3 years old, and then it just decided to fly away.
Wow.
It flew home, and
That's
I felt
so upsetting.
I felt like a parent who had done everything right. But despite this, it still left. It still ran away.
That's a natural thing.
I mean, that is the definition of an empty nester, Stu.
I know you got to let them go sometime, but
the eggs have hatched and it's flown away.
It's so hard.
It's going to go for itself.
He's only 3 years old. I just hope he's doing all right out there.
Did you have a name for him?
He's got. Do they have names?
I sort of affectionately refer to it as Tammy sometimes, but it's just my Tamagotchi.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Tamatha.
So it flew away, and at first I didn't really know what was going on.
Tamagodzilla?
Tamagodzilla.
That's when it gets really big.
Tamagotchi.
No, yeah, just a Tama that I used to have.
So I was quite disappointed that my 3-year-old Tamagotchi decided to run away, but I hatched a new one.
It is devastating.
And this current Tamagotchi is doing very well. I'll just have a check on it for you now. Okay, so it's got a little poo on the screen. Just let me wipe that away.
Oh, the beeping.
Now he's happy.
Fine.
Now he's happy. Okay.
You're right, Stu. We're doing a podcast here.
Yeah, I know. So I just want to tell you. So he's 5 years old now.
This is a very important business meeting, Stuart.
He's 5 years old.
So he stuck around a bit longer.
He did. I really want this guy to stay around. He's 24 ounces, which is like half a kilogram. And he's very happy at the moment. He's sort of half evolved, so I don't know what his full form is. But it could be a while, and I think I'm going to continue to update you guys on this Tamagotchi because I'm really hoping that this guy sticks around for a while, because on the literature that comes in the packet, it says so 3 days and like you haven't done a very good job. Like, you can do better. 8 days, you're doing all right. And then it says 23 plus days, or like 23 plus years in Tamagotchi years. And then it was like, you're doing really good, keep it up. So I'm at 5 years old now. I want to get this bad boy to like 20-something years old.
Oh my God. Wait, so does that mean the one that left in 3 days did too well or not well enough? Or
I can't really figure it out. I mean...
Is it a tutorial maybe?
Randomness features just kind of like run off the internal clock of any like computing system, right? So I assume that it's just random when it wants to fly away.
Right.
Like after a certain point in its evolution, it may just decide to fly away. I assume. No idea. I have no idea about the inner workings of a Tamagotchi. But I really, really want to keep this thing happy. But I guess the last thing that I'll mention about taking care of these Tamagotchis is keeping the thing happy is the most annoying thing of the whole Tamagotchi. So, like, it's very easy to just check on it every now and then and give it some food or discipline it when it doesn't want to eat or blah, blah, blah. But the happiness factor, it's like you have to get 3 out of 5 guessing which way it's going to turn, and it's only happy if you get more than 3 out of 5 correct. But, like, it's completely random. So making it happy could take 30 seconds or it could take literally forever. Like, Sometimes I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes just trying to guess which way it's going to turn. And I'm like, if you don't want to be happy, then that's fucking on you.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I feel about the stars out of stars rating.
Well, speaking of which, I'm going to move on to rating it.
Uh-huh.
So it was actually really, really fun. I really enjoyed this, Chris.
Great. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. My rating system is out of 30 stars total. I give 10 for experience, 10 for spiritual growth, and 10 stars for stars.
Stars, obviously.
My rating this week is 7 out of 10 for experience.
Cool.
It was great. Spiritual growth, also 7 out of 10.
Cool.
Very good.
Perfect.
And
Perfect score.
You got a bit of a look at parenthood in the future?
yeah, I did. I realized how damn difficult it must be. Like, if I can't keep this thing happy just guessing which way it's going to turn, how am I going to go with a living thing?
Yep.
Anyway.
When it asks for a driver's license or a phone, yeah.
Oh, God, no.
How do you deny a machine access to the internet?
And stars, the amount of stars I'm going to give it out of 10 is 4 stars out of 10
Oh,
for the
okay.
Tamagotchi because, it's pretty fun, but if you want to play a game, buy a PS4, man.
What? They're just randomly jumping in different directions and guessing which way it was going to jump game isn't good enough for you, Stu?
Wow.
No, it's definitely not.
Wow.
But I love my Tamagotchi, and it's a beautiful little thing. So thanks for that, Chris. That was a really fun week.
Cheers, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And now it is my turn to throw to you, Dave. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So, Dave, last week I recommended that you attempt to find and eat a fruit that you have not yet eaten before in your life.
That's right.
Before we jump in, I feel like it's quite clear. We've talked about Dave having a tummy bug, and that this is his challenge. And I feel like the listeners would have already drawn the dots together. They would have already made the A to B. That, much like me and Stu did as well.
Oh, God.
Maybe you can clear that up, Dave. Is the fruit that made you-
It actually wasn't. This is actually part of the story.
Right, okay.
I got it from something else. but
Okay.
It is part of the story.
Okay.
So, settle down, kids.
All right.
So, there's this fruit shop in the metro, like near my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going in there. Basically, on Sunday, I wake up and I'm just having like just the worst like intestinal cramps ever, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I need to do like a uni assignment. I need to do this thing, go eat a fruit like that I've never tried before. First of all, that's like dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you ever think about this, but I sometimes do, where like, you know how like everything that we know is poisonous, we know because someone ate it?
Yep. Yeah.
It's a bad move. Like, I'm assuming that if it's in a shop that it's fine, but there's heaps of stuff where you just can't eat the skin or whatever. You know?
of course. Yeah,
So I walk in there and I'm, not only have I got these mad intestinal cramps, I'm trying not to just like shit my dacks.
Oh, Dave.
I've fully just like gamified like the way I'm gonna do this because I want to protect what I know of this. I want to make it a true like experience of being somewhere and finding a new fruit. Like if you went to a different country and like found something and you didn't know what it was, and you first discovered it, what would you do?
Yeah.
Obviously you'd eat it.
Yeah.
But so what I did was, it's a particular grocer. They have like the signs that for what it is, like above the actual stalls, right? So what I did was, I walked in there. I've got a hoodie on because I'm like quite ill. My hood's on. I've got a hat on as well.
The uniform for the sick leave.
Yeah.
I decide I'm gonna pull my cap down, like just like so that it obstructs my vision, so I can't see any of the signs and what's written on the signs. So I'm just looking at all of these different fruits and vegetables as if for the first time, and I've realized it is impossible to tell the difference between a fruit and a vegetable just by looking at it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's impossible to tell.
And
right?
even though we think we know the differences, there's so many fruits that are vegetables and vegetables that are fruits, and like, you know.
Exactly. I'm like, I tried to go find a fruit. So I was walking around and I realized that I don't know what what these fruits are, what some of them are. There's a few that I knew, like a banana was pretty easy to spot. But then if you go in the chat, I see one of these bad boys.
Yeah.
You can see in the picture that it's cut up.
Yeah.
But it's clearly a melon.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, it does look like
and
a melon.
I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Looks like a honeydew melon.
It's not. It's definitely not. It doesn't taste like a honeydew melon, but it does look like a honeydew melon.
Okay.
On the inside it does, but on the outside it's got this very rough kind of dark green, but covered in these stripes that are kind of like blotchy.
Yeah, it looks like an AFL. It looks like an AFL ball made a baby with an avocado.
It looks like how a child would draw a watermelon.
Absolutely,
You know?
yeah. And I was just standing in there, just like looking around, like kind of looking down. Got this hood on. I'm realizing I don't know what fruits look like, and I've also temporarily forgotten what shoplifters look like, which is me.
Yeah, and you're walking like a cowboy to keep your guts on the inside.
Just like, and I'm walking around with a bit of briskness, a bit of a trot on me. Yeah, trying to walk around, just trying to like look at these things. I kind of like pick something up, put it down, pick something up, put it down. Oh, it looks so sus, and I finally like picked this thing, and I walked. I actually picked another thing as well, just to hedge my bets, because I thought one of them might be a vegetable and one of them might be a fruit. I just feel like if I'm trying to find a fruit and I don't know, then that's the best way to do it. I walk up and buy it, and this woman just gives me the dirtiest look. The dirtiest look. And I just buy this thing. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'll come home, and I decide I'm going to try and just like Google search it. So
God, where do you start?
Where do you start? Exactly. I'm trying to taxonomically just decide what this is before I cut it open.
Oh yeah. Does Google melon question mark?
Just no. So like if you look back through my Google history, it's like big oval striped fruit, green yellow melon, striped melon, green yellow heavy melon, big boy, big melon in my hands, medium melon or vegetable. Symptoms of bowel cancer, medium yellow striped melon maybe. What is this melon? Melon types. I finally I keep seeing it just melons just coming up, and I'm seeing this melon come up in Google Images. I'm trying to figure it out, and like none of the pages are in English.
Yeah.
And I just see it, and like it's not quite right, or it's not like, it seems like it's maybe a different thing or whatever. And I finally, there's a lot of different names. I found out that this one is called Piel de Sapo.
Piel de
Sapo, which is, it's from Spain, and
I believe
that means,
that's the name of the guy that killed my father.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it sounds like a Bond villain.
I will get my revenge, by the way.
Yeah, it's called the Piel de Sapo. It's also known as the toad skin melon.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which it's like a toad skin, right?
Yeah.
And then also it's called the Santa Claus melon. Apparently that's the prevailing name for it. I have no idea why it's called that.
That's the main name, like the prevailing name.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
So it doesn't even come around at Christmas time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like green is not even, well, I guess historically green is one of Saint Nick's colours, but like what does this have to do with Christmas at all?
nothing is the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Depending on the taste, maybe Santa brings you this melon if you're naughty.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
Santa Claus
just
melon.
maybe, we're three white guys who don't know much about all the other cultures of the world.
And are better off guessing wildly.
Wildly guessing.
As if displaying our ignorance on the internet.
Yeah.
As a form of entertainment.
It's a great place to do it.
Great place to do it. Hey guys, do you guys want to start a podcast? Anyway, so I cut it open, and it is a melon. Like I didn't know that it was a melon at the start. I was just assuming.
Yeah.
But it is a melon. You open it up, and it's fucking delicious.
Oh,
excellent. Really?
It's great. It's unreal. Yeah,
I did not see that coming.
Enjoy it. Yeah, no, it's super good. It does taste quite a bit like honeydew.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. If you like, I can read you the article about it.
Sure.
To tell it what the flavor is. Hang on.
Yeah, for sure.
Find it.
Welcome to the Wikipedia podcast, where we read out pages from Wikipedia. like almost every other podcast. Let's be honest.
Straight up.
It has a blotched green peel, after which it is named in Spanish. Piel de sapo translates to toad skin. Closely related melon with the same shape is the Amarillo, or canary melon. The attractive green and gold to bright yellow striped Santa Claus melon somewhat resembles a small watermelon. It doesn't say what it tastes like. I thought it would say what it tastes like. It's kind of tastes like a melon.
I guess it's hard to sort of talk about taste, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
unless comparing it to something else.
Yeah, it's much easier to dance about taste.
Okay, all right.
That was in bad taste, Stuart. Let's move on to the rating system. As we all know, I use every number from 1 to 100, but I only get to use them once each, and that means that I eventually going to have a list of all the different just things and how good they are in order. This one, I'm giving it a fucking 80.
Wow.
It's the highest scoring one so far.
Wow.
Trying a brand new fruit is 80.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
It was so good. It's a great recommendation. Well done.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that it wasn't poisonous.
Yeah, he's hoping.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean,
hoping.
it's yeah. I mean,
it
is
sounds
it
like
possible that it or is? What did you get your food poisoning from? What did you?
I don't know. I just sheer will, I think.
You know, not to throw around accusations or anything, but the last time we heard from you on the podcast, Dave, you were saying you were tempted to eat more and more KFC than ever.
That's true.
So, don't want to blame the Colonel,
Yeah,
but
you couldn't find any new fruits on the KFC menu.
What kind of fruit is this? Mashed potato and gravy fruit. Okay.
Well, that's great, Dave.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on to me. Before we go into my my review of the recommendation this week, we're going to give my weekly wish update.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So there is actually an update this week.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
There was actually an actual update. I got an email from Wish.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other day.
Even the emails take a long time to ship.
That's certainly true. I get an email from Wish, and it says, "Hey, click here to answer our question. We've got a question for you. Click here to answer our question."
Sure.
Okay.
All right. And so I click.
What is your tax file number?
I click here, and it's like, "Hey, so did this order?" And a picture of the D&D dice.
Yep.
Like, this order, did this arrive yet?
Oh, wow.
Yes, it arrived, or no, it has not. And I clicked. No, it has not.
No.
And they're like,
What?
okay, well, it's probably still coming. Anyway. And like the only other button on the page was continue shopping.
Oh, my God.
No, I started
sucks.
shopping. I finished shopping. There's no continue. I finished.
That
I'm done.
sucks.
What do you mean continue? It's the only button I could have pressed. Oh.
This is like the only store or online store that I have ever heard of that asks you to track your fucking shipping. That's ridiculous.
It's bad.
That's true, actually.
Oh my goodness.
So Chris, where is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to work out when I ordered all this stuff. I think it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's been 6 weeks. I'm not sure. No, it must be less than that. I have no idea. I have no idea how long it's been.
Doesn't Wish.com know that you need to slay your goblins, man? You need to cast your fireballs.
No sympathy.
No sympathy
It
at
sucks.
all.
It sucks so bad. I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I live in a metropolitan city.
Wish
Anyway.
sucks.
Let's move along to this
Last
week, huh?
week, Chris Heaslip, I challenged you, I recommended to you to start a comedy or a parody Twitter account.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I think these joke Twitter accounts can really be the height of comedy. If you've never seen one before,
Absolutely.
I mean, you might know a few, Dave, as well. But like, when I think of like a parody Twitter account, my mind instantly goes to modern day Seinfeld. That's a really famous one where
Yeah.
they basically write the plots of Seinfeld episodes if they were set in 2020. And there's some really cracking ones, like, George does something on Tinder and like all that sort of thing. And there's some really corking ones. Dave, you mentioned carrot facts. Like just
Real carrot facts. One of my faves.
silly over the top ones like that.
Yeah.
So this review's kind of be in two different sections. So there's my ideas for joke Twitter accounts, and then there's the tweets I actually made.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm pretty happy with these
Great.
ideas to the extent where I almost thought of making the Twitter account just joke Twitter ideas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Spoiler: that is not what happened.
Okay.
All right, here they are. Pauline Hanson's Google history.
That's a very good one. Strong start.
That's a strong start.
I very nearly almost did that one, but then I just realized it's just saying racist things, isn't it? It's just that's all it is.
isn't it?
And that joke could run pretty dry, pretty quick. Anyway,
Yeah. Oh, for our international listeners, that is like one of our most heinously racist politicians. Just so you knows.
Oh my god.
yeah. Kind of the closest thing we have to David Duke, really. Anyway, moving on. Rejected Star Wars aliens.
Oh, yeah, cool.
This one is just butts.
So whether I draw a picture or whatever, like just
That's awesome.
Your mum's text fails. So just things your mum would text you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Surely there's heaps of Twitter
I-
accounts with that anyway already.
I have no doubt. That's sort of why I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
I've always been really alarmed by how close fishing and fisting are in the autocorrect.
Oh no.
Exactly.
I just feels like I'm ticking down one day.
Rejected movie taglines. So everyone has taglines to a movie
nice.
like Chicken Run is escape or die frying, and like they're really sort of smart puns and stuff like that. And so just making really shit ones.
Nice.
This is really
That's
terrible movie taglines.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Unpopular COVID stats.
Okay. That could get some traction.
For example, since March 2020, the CEO of Skype has been drinking 250% more wine. So there's weird stats about COVID.
Okay.
Stats that aren't. Yeah. Okay.
While we're on Zoom, by the way, that's a bit of a joke there.
Yeah.
Failed male deodorant catchphrases.
Oh.
Okay.
Just
Feel
like
like
feel the
that-
sweat.
that-
Shit like that.
That is an untapped well.
Yes, it is.
Burn the stink.
That's it.
Amazing.
Rejected Shannon Knoll song titles.
Oh.
If you go on Spotify and search up Shannon Knoll, there's his cover of What About Me, and then his only three
That's
successful
funny.
singles.
He did a cover of What About Me? Isn't he the guy that wrote What About Me?
No, it's a cover, man. It's an old
like
song.
an 80s hit.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
For real? I did not know that.
Yeah.
He did it on Australian Idol and hit big, and
Oh, shit. Okay.
So his three actual singles are all one-word verbs.
Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, what do you want?
Stuart.
What do you want? Huh?
Stuart.
It's not discipline. Sorry.
Oh, that was tragic.
Wow.
You have such an iron
That was hard
hand.
to watch. Oh my god!
When you go, yeah, I won't.
Far
I won't
out.
take it. I won't take it.
Jeez,
Sorry,
I think-
Chris.
I think we should call the
You
RSPCA.
won't and you did not. Rejected Shannon Knoll song titles. So if you have a look at all these singles, they're all one-word verbs. So it's like, I think it's lift, shine, and drive. And so just doing an entire Twitter account of just
Skip.
of just one-word verbs that could be Shannon Knoll song titles. Arrive.
Slap.
I don't know.
That's amazing. Drinking, slacking.
Moving on. Rejected Dave Hughes jokes.
Oh yeah.
So,
Nice.
jokes just weren't good enough for Dave Hughes.
A lot of rejected ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
I bet there is. And my final idea, or my second last idea, was things Dr. Phil's barber says.
Things Dr. Phil's barber says.
I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I thought that could have been a lot of fun. But anyway,
could have been.
what I settled on
Here we go.
was Kyle Sandlands' daily planner.
Yes.
This is very good.
So
Yes.
I've just linked you guys the Twitter account. It's at Kyle Planner. So scroll to the bottom, if you will, and read upwards.
Scroll
I've
to the
got
bottom.
12 tweets on there.
Yeah.
And I thought you guys might want to read it for everyone. Before we get into that, though, actually, I was sort of talking to Dave about this the other day, and I think it's sort of tricky because a lot of internet humor is funny because it's designed to be read.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like how watching a YouTube video in a group can sometimes ruin the YouTube video, and it's not as funny in that sort of setting. Reading tweets aloud and like reading a meme aloud or something like that can really kill the joke. So I'm very worried of that happening.
Okay,
it's definitely the ultimate sign that a party kind of sucks.
If you start watching YouTube videos,
when the phone comes out.
Tweets off their phone.
Yeah.
11:48 p.m. Watch YouTube compilation of me destroying fat chicks in Australian Idol. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the first one. Yeah.
5:45 p.m. Watch Zumba session on the couch while eating a tub of fat-free ice cream.
8:40 a.m. Call accomplished Australian female journalist a fat mole or something.
You see, it's a recurring theme. Him going ha ha ha, like in the middle of his Daily Planner notes. I just think that's hilarious for some reason. Just Carl Sandilands just laughing at his own fucking entries on his schedule. Anyway,
5:30 a.m. Take morning shit. 6 to 9 a.m. Morning radio show. 9:05 a.m. Finish taking morning shit.
pat the back to that one. That's
Slam, Kyle.
Fuck, that is good.
Slam.
Fuck. 6:10 a.m. Call Ernie Dingo a cockhead. Haha, what a cockhead.
I read it.
It's literally something he did, by the way. Just want to make clear, I didn't make that up.
No,
for real?
Literally something.
Why?
Come
What?
on, dude.
Man, what a dick.
He's a national treasure.
Carl Sandilands Daily Planner, 10:54 a.m. Smash 11 up and goes. 10:56 a.m. Do a couple cheeky lines. 10:58 a.m. Record the second season of Trial by Kyle. That's
Rough show. Cannot recommend that one.
I have seen one episode of that show, and I didn't go back for
This
more.
is fantastic. If you have to do 11 up and goes, it's not getting up. It's not getting up, and it's not going anywhere. 2:30 p.m. Practice offensive South Vietnamese accent. 3:10 p.m. Pick up dry cleaning. 3:12 p.m. Accuse dry cleaners of stealing $20 note from my jacket pocket. 3:13 p.m. Yell at dry cleaner. 3:24 p.m. Mock dry cleaner with offensive South Vietnamese accent. 7:42 p.m. Find the $20. Ha 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 ha.
Oh man,
I don't know. I got really deep on that one.
The greatest thing about this is the fact that none of this is spontaneous. He actually planned. He plans to lose the $20. Blame a minority and then find it. He knows. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
10,
He's Kyle. He sees all.
10:20 a.m. Come up with nickname for the fattest unpaid intern.
8:15 a.m. Tell Jackie O she has tuck shop lady arms. Ha ha ha. 9:10 a.m. Get fourth surgery on my tuck shop lady arms.
I know I'm sort of hammering this one home quite a lot, but it is really interesting researching Carl Sandilands. He has a real obsession with calling people fat and then backpedaling immediately and joking about himself being like, yeah, but I'm fat. It's actually really hard. Ha ha ha. Like it's a real complexity with him. It's actually quite fascinating.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, right. The inner life of Carl Sandilands.
Straight up.
You heard it here first. 2:10 p.m. Have nap. 4:05 p.m. Wake from nap early. Fuck, I hate Mondays. 4:12 p.m. Pre-dinner lasagna. Pre-dinner lasagna. That's amazing. And 4:45 p.m. Sue Jim Davis for life rights.
Do we get that one?
Because he's Garfield, yeah.
Jim Davis wrote Garfield.
Gotcha. Now,
Also, quick nod to Bella. She came up with pre-dinner. I was trying to think of a fourth
Pre-dinner
lasagna of the day.
lasagna.
That was a Bella Bolton original. So there you go.
Corker, Bella.
That's nice. That's a corker. 11:05 a.m. Google highest paid Australian radio celebrities. 11:07 a.m. Google John Law's address. 2:37 p.m. Take a shit on John Law's doorstep.
That's actually not correct.
that's
Carl
good.
Sandilands is the highest paid, but
100%. Yeah.
a few years ago that would have been really funny.
Is he only the highest paid now because Alan Jones is retired?
No, it is him and Jackie O, but it is also them together, so it's kind of tricky how you play it like that.
Okay, yeah. 7:45 a.m. Tell Jackie O I've always been in love with her. 7:46 a.m. ... 7:47 a.m. Throw to ad break. Oh, that's a sad one at the end there. Almost humanises the fellow.
Yeah, I wanted to put that at the end. Yeah. So there it is. So there's my joke Twitter account. Don't know if I'll keep it going, keep it cooking. Maybe if I think of one every now and then, I can chuck it on.
Oh, it's blowing up, man. One follower.
Yeah, it's got one follower already.
That's right.
At Kyle Planner, guys, if you want to check it out.
That's right. Yeah, but I'm sure after this we'll have at least 2.
Yeah. I also love the photo that you've chosen from. It's like his youthful face.
It's a weird photo. It's
like pre-fame or something.
No. It would have been like just as he was rising up, like so when he
okay.
started to do red carpets and stuff like that.
Right.
So I picked Kyle Sandiland's Daily Planner because Kyle is this really special thing because he's just one of those people that everyone's decided, oh, he's fair game. Mostly because he like attacks so many people so often. People have decided, making fun of Kyle Sandilands for being an asshole, that's fair. That's a fair go. But as I had picked him and as I'd written my first 8 and uploaded most of them, it revealed that Kyle's actually quite sick at the moment and is having a throat operation this week.
Oh,
and, kind of felt quite bad for picking on poor Kyle. So
well, I mean, you know,
I guess I'm the asshole.
If he's having a throat operation, obviously he can't talk. So you were his voice for this week, and I feel like you kind of hit the nail on the head. Let's be honest.
Thanks, G.
No worries. And no real
just
slander.
never recovered from that South Vietnamese accent.
That's probably the roughest one.
Kind of the wind changed and he just kind of kept doing it.
Yeah. Oh, is it all right? Is it all right to feel a bit bad for the guy? I kind of do a little bit now that we've picked on him and I've realised that everyone picks on him.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I'm going to say maybe I need to fucking go.
Oh, okay.
All right, emergency pull out by Dave there. Goodness gracious. Well, look, while he's gone, I'll keep going. We should leave this in. So my rating for this week is 2 out of 2. I had a really good time. I enjoy writing jokes. I enjoy coming up with goofs and gaffs and that sort of thing. So 2 out of 2.
Yeah, good stuff.
I had a good time.
That's great.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave, for the recommend when you listen back to this.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Do you actually think that you'll continue it? In some way, maybe every now and then.
If I actually think of something, I'll chuck it on. But otherwise, probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, look, while Dave's in the bathroom, maybe we should fire up the DVD player, huh, Stu?
Oh yeah, probably. Although I think
comfy.
Dave's the only one with a DVD player, right? So
that is true.
Damn it. All right. So when Dave gets out of the dunny and brings his DVD player around.
We might chuck on a family movie.
We might check out a bloody family movie.
Latest throwback craze. Latest throwback craze.
Welcome to Family Movie Night. This is the part of the show where every week we sit down and watch 10 more seconds of Home Alone. And this week we're up to seconds 70 to 80. We're still in the titles though, so here we go.
All right.
John
John still, he was up there for a while.
The house is still on the screen.
Jan and Janet.
Okay. Mark Radcliffe.
Any relation? Maybe.
Ooh.
Okay.
A few more credits.
Okay.
A few more credits.
Yeah,
It's gonna take forever.
This part of the podcast isn't going to be interesting for at least another 6 episodes.
Harry Potter's dad is in it. Yeah.
God, I can't wait to see Macaulay. I really can't.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I have to keep stopping myself every time because like Home Alone it owns a certain portion of the internet, right? Mm-hmm. I just have to constantly back away from particular things on the internet because I don't want to spoil this film for myself.
Oh, mate.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Alrighty, with Family Movie Night done and dusted, it is time to move on to the recommendations that we will be fulfilling this week and talking about next week. And we're going to start... let's just start in the same order. I'm going to recommend first.
All right.
So this week it is my turn to recommend for you, Chris, and I want to start a new series of recommendations. It won't be every week, but I want to start a thread.
Okay.
It is time for Terrible Movies with Chris.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Because, and the reason why I'm giving you a terrible movie to watch, and will continue to for the years that we do this podcast, hopefully.
Oh my God.
The reason why I'm giving you this terrible movie is because, Chris, you're like, for me, you're the most trustworthy person to review a film. So whenever you have just seen a really terrible film and you tell us about it, you are very good, in my opinion, at pinpointing the reasons it sucked and also highlighting like its redeeming qualities. So
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, I
give
guess.
a pretty balanced review. Yeah.
So
It's very kind.
It's
It's very kind.
Yeah, I just want you to take a couple of hours out of your week, and I want you to sit down and watch Son of the Mask.
No.
Oh no. I thought you were going to say The Room. This is so much worse.
Son of the Mask. No, because
That sucks.
I know that you guys actually enjoy The Room. I've watched it with you guys. Like, it's great. But
Oh no.
Son of the Mask. So the way that this started is I was like, okay, what am I going to give to Chris? And then I started looking up terrible sequels that didn't have the original cast in them.
Yeah.
And that was my starting point. And then I was also going to recommend that you watch all of Jim Carrey from like 1990 something to 2000 or something like that. But I was like, no, that's way too much. I was like, I'll spread it out over time. And then the Jim Carrey got me onto The Mask, and I was like, let's do the Mask sequel. So you got to watch Son of the Mask this week.
Son of the Mask is on a lot of worst movies of all time lists.
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay,
Oh my God.
we'll talk about it next week, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Bring it on.
So this week I'm giving to Stuart.
Yeah, that's right.
In Melbourne, we've gone back downstairs in COVID restrictions.
Yeah,
times.
that's right.
Yeah, we have.
In Victoria, you now cannot fly anymore.
Yeah.
But you, Stuart,
Yeah.
you are going to fly.
Oh,
I will fly? Is this my Brandon Stark moment?
You are going to fly, and you're going to have the best teacher there is. You're going to learn from the Birdman himself,
What? Yeah.
Tony Hawk.
What's going on?
Christmas last year.
Yeah.
Christmas last year.
Yeah.
yeah.
I decided that I was going to give a year subscription masterclass to Chris,
Yeah.
That's right.
and I'm 90 to 100% sure he hasn't used it at all,
That is true.
Okay.
which sucks because it fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Just busy. Yeah.
I've heard you say a number of times that you're not busy on this podcast. There is proof. That's fine.
He's selectively busy, okay? He hasn't got time to learn how to do a McTwist.
I get an email this week, and the email says, "You've got a brand new instructor. It's Tony Hawk."
Oh, yes.
The Tony Hawk Masterclass.
Stuart, this week,
Yeah.
I recommend to you
Yeah.
the Tony Hawk Masterclass.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the funny thing is, like half an hour before jumping on to do this podcast, my housemate linked me the Tony Hawk Masterclass and was like, check it.
Oh, for
Yeah,
real?
straight up. So that's
That
Wow.
shit is expensive, so
Yeah.
fucking you should be stoked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I really am. And like, amazing. I mean, Tony Hawk is like a vert skater, and I am definitely more of a...
So he runs through street bowl and
cool.
verts.
Yeah, that's right.
There is a skate bowl near your house.
There is, yeah. Yeah, I've actually walked past it just the other day. The only thing that this means is because I kind of got caught in Victoria when all the COVID stuff went down, and now I'm actually caught in Victoria because COVID has kind of resurged. But I don't have my skateboard on me, so I'm gonna have to go out and get one. But that's fine. I've been tossing it up for a while, so I'm gonna do that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, this is very exciting. Thanks, Dave.
Pretty stoked about
Oh, Davey.
Line me up.
I've
Rack 'em up.
been inspired actually by Stu sort of talking about how much he learnt about parenting this week, and I want to instill that gift onto you, Dave.
Okay.
This week, I recommend that you
What's this gonna be?
keep an egg on your person for 24 hours. You must learn to
fucking easy.
care
I
and
can
look
do
after
that.
this egg. Try
do
and make sure it doesn't crack.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mistakes
Probably
may
gonna
happen.
crack.
Keep it happy by guessing which way it turns.
That's right.
Yeah. It turns straight onto the floor.
I must add, it can't be a hard-boiled egg. Not for any sort of safety reasons, just because you might be tempted to eat it, and Is this your child?
Yeah, that's fair. This is my child. No, I wouldn't want to eat my child.
No, definitely
God, no.
not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Awesome. I'm fully
just to
into
clarify,
this.
by on your person, I'm like as close to you as your phone. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, within hand's reach at all times.
Okay. You realize I'm gonna have to get a bum bag or something.
Oh, I didn't even consider that, to be honest. I didn't even consider that an option. But
for it.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Chris, do you have a contingency plan for if it hatches?
you have to keep a look after the bird. Keep the bird on your person, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But it might fly away after 3 days and break your heart.
My child fell on the floor and it went home.
much like Stu's. It flew home.
Yeah. Alrighty, those are our recommendations for next week. In case you skipped an episode, we have gone weekly.
Oh, yeah.
So that's very exciting. So tune back in next week for when we talk about them. But before we wrap up the show, I just quickly want to say thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. We're really getting into the rhythm of this show. You can help us out if you like the show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, following us on Spotify. Actually, if you want to get in touch, if you have something, if you're listening to the show and you're like, oh, I've got this great idea for a recommendation that the boys could do, we would love to hear from you about that. So if you do have an idea for a recommendation, email poolboyscomedy@gmail.com. That would be awesome. Oh, also we have a website now. Ooh. Go and check out our website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a website.
Yes.
Poolboys.gov.
That's right. We're on JobKeeper now.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's us. And
what about me?
What about you, Dave?
I'm dying over here. Let's do this.
What about you, Dave? Everything about you, Dave. Davey?
Yep.
Take it away. Fantasia. Thunderstruck.
Bigger. It is Thunderstruck.
Hell yeah.
Fun fact about Thunderstruck, it was actually written about Dave's bowels.
All right. Thanks very much for listening. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
A few less shit jokes, hopefully. Bye.
Oh my God, you look like Bohemian Rhapsody, Dave. Stay right there.
Oh yeah, you do too.
It's pretty fucking spooky sexy. Sorry about that.
That's great.